What if I told you a city overflowing with beauty, luxury, and power vanished in a single morning? They had everything: wealth, freedom, and the pleasures of the world. But beneath the glittering surface was corruption so deep, its cries reached heaven. And God came down, not with an army, not with a flood, but with fire. This is not only a story of destruction, it's a story of mercy, warning, and justice. This is the fall of Sodom and Gomorrah. Long ago, in the valley of the Jordan stood two cities, Sodom and Gomorrah. Lush and wealthy, they were called the jewels of Canaan, green, prosperous, and full of life. But in their comfort, the people forgot God. Pride replaced compassion. Pleasure replaced righteousness. They rejected the stranger, mocked the innocent, and celebrated sin as freedom. As the prophet Ezekiel wrote, they were arrogant, overfed, and unconcerned. They did not help the poor and needy. One day, Abraham sat at his tent in the heat of noon when three men appeared. They were not travelers, they were messengers of heaven. The Lord himself had come to visit his servant. After they ate, the Lord said, "The outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is great. I will go down to see if what they have done is as bad as the cries I have heard." When the angels departed, Abraham did something bold. He pleaded for mercy. "Lord, will you sweep away the righteous with the wicked? Suppose there are 50 righteous, or 10, and God said, 'If I find 10 righteous in the city, I will spare it for their sake.'" As the sun set, the two angels arrived at Sodom's gate. There sat Lot, Abraham's nephew, who had chosen to live in the city for its wealth. When he saw them, he bowed low and urged them to stay in his home, knowing how dangerous the streets were at night. The angels agreed, and that night, the darkness of Sodom revealed itself. Men from every corner of the city surrounded the house and demanded, "Bring out the men who came to you." Their intent was wicked, violence, perversion, and shame. Lot pleaded for peace, but the mob grew violent. Then suddenly, the angels struck them blind. Panic filled the streets. The angels turned to Lot and said, "Gather your family. We are going to destroy this place." The outcry to the Lord is great. Lot ran to his sons-in-law. "The Lord will destroy this city. Flee." But they laughed, thinking it was a joke. At dawn, the angels urged again, "Hurry! Take your wife and daughters and flee, or you'll be swept away." Lot hesitated, torn between fear and attachment. But the angels took his hand and led him out. The Lord had mercy, not because of Lot's righteousness, but because he remembered Abraham's prayer. "Run for your lives," the angels warned. "Don't look back." As the sun rose, fire and burning sulfur rained from heaven. The sky turned red, the earth trembled. Cities, homes, and gardens vanished in a sea of flame. The land that once overflowed with life became a wasteland of smoke and ash. But as they fled, Lot's wife turned back, her heart still tied to what she left behind. In that instant, she became a pillar of salt, frozen in time between mercy and regret. The story of Sodom and Gomorrah became a warning for generations, not just for their immorality, but for their pride, greed, and injustice. In their wealth, they became careless. In their pride, cruel. And in their freedom, perverse. But God's judgment did not come without mercy. He warned. He waited. He listened. Only when mercy was rejected did fire fall. Today, the world mirrors Sodom more than ever, calling evil good and good evil, mocking faith, celebrating sin. But even now, there is hope. God still saves those who turn to him. "Enter through the narrow gate," Jesus said. "For wide is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. But narrow is the path that leads to life." The fire that fell was not just judgment. It was a message across time. Turn back while there is still mercy.